That's me in a top, featuring a print of my actual skull. The year was 2019. I was living in Shenzhen, working for a tech company, going to the park on the weekends to look at the kites in the sky and daydream for hours at a time. I passed by the pull-up bars one day. The irrational urge to attempt a monkey bar trick I hadn't done since I was 14 overcame me. It was my version of desperately Tarzaning towards my inner child. And childish I most certainly felt when I ended up in the ER with a bruised jaw. Despite the fall from grace, I took a leaf out of Alexander McQueen's Bible and turned my CT scan into a memento mori-esque fabric. The result was this top featuring my little old skull. My handmaids are the fabric of my life, fleeting autobiographical moments embedded into the imperfectly sewn, the chaotically embellished, the therapeutically crafted. I'm not a trained fashion designer, pattern maker, or trained craftswoman. I'm just a girl with pins and needles and a camera. Today, I'm sitting on my metaphorical rocking chair reminiscing about some of the things I've made in 2023. Let's begin. I made this tailored jacket, a mix of elements from Tyrolean coats and Chinese tang suits. Alpine-esque jacquard with metallic threads, mandarin collar, wooden toggle buttons in the place of frog fasteners, bracelet sleeves stopping right above my wrists, severely graphic welt pockets creating relief against the jacquard. Stoic but chaotic. Opulent but academic. This mutt of a jacket is me, and I am this mutt of a jacket. I wore this jacket so much that it became embarrassing, so I fashioned myself two more from the same pattern. This one in a gray wool outlined with black piping, and this one in midnight black with longer sleeves and a boxier fit. The toggles for this one are all in black too. This jacket reflects the inner dichotomy of a Chinese girl born and raised in Vienna, Austria. This jacket is my tailored question mark. This next one, an exclamation mark, in the form of an embellished zebra print bustier in honor of the first ever Barbie outfit. For this, I made my own black and white fabric by ripping up strips of crepe de chine, sewing them together, cutting them up into squares, then assembling them at random, all in the style and technique of American artist Ellsworth Kelly. In line with my more is more approach to making things, I then embroidered on big chunks of black and white sequins and beads to make things more chaotic and visceral. At the time when I made this, I called it a top, and now it feels more like an oversized necklace of sorts. To accessorize our accessory, a crepe de chine fabric donut stuffed with down feathers from a sacrificed pillow, embellished all over with sequined polka dots. Next, something else the 4-year-old version of me would have loved, a heart-shaped cake bag inspired by 90s Chanel vanity cases and German gingerbread cookies. I made 3 of these cake bags in total, but this Victoria one is narcissistically my favorite. I actually brought it with me to see the Nutcracker last week at the Shanghai Opera. The gingerbread base is made out of suede, the back ruffle is made out of gathered satin, and the cake's decorative icing is made of imitation buttercream, which is non-edible and sticks onto the suede like a spider monkey. To top it all off, fake cherries to taste. Speaking of berries, another berry-adjacent make was this halter top inspired by blueberries. The blueberries were individually crafted using a medieval cloth button technique out of this gorgeous velvet, which also frayed like a villain. The base of the top is this gorgeous embellished red fabric resurrected from a hideous jacket I made the year before. The collar is a maximalist embellished trim, to which I added agate stones as weights at the back and teeny tiny beads to act as baby blueberries not yet ripe for the picking in the front. I made this top when I was in the process of leaving my full-time corporate job to just take a little time for myself and rest and do things that brought me simple joy. I was so relaxed that I even found blueberries inspiring. Another halter top I made was inspired by Schiaparelli's apron dress. Instead of a full-length dress, mine is more like a top, but still keeps that V shape at the bottom. I used leftover fabric from another project and fake flowers acquired from the internet. I know I just called all of these tops halter tops, I guess to be more universal, but they're actually based on the dudou, the artistic underwear of medieval China. It literally translates into a belly cover and was like a gentle corset worn in the Ming and Qing dynasties. While on the topic of chinoiserie, I made this qipao variation, sleeveless, form-fitting, with individual frog fasteners at the neck. I also made this one in a chocolate crocodile brown. The neck is more severe and goes all the way to my chin. This year, I also made my first ever pair of cargo pants in practical suede leather with spidery floral motifs embroidered in charcoal-esque strokes and nude sequins. For the embroidery, I drew my own flowers as patterns, and I marked everything out, embroidered it all while the pieces were still flat. Then I assembled the pockets, then everything else. A Upon autumn's arrival, I finally got back to tailoring, my favorite type of project. I made this razor-sharp black suit for the queen herself, Morticia Adams, matriarch of the Adams family and my ultimate woman crush. The shell is this reflective black tweed, which I covered all over with individually cut and hand-burned silk applique flowers from this gorgeous fabric that I've had in my stash for years. I added jet embroidery onto the pockets, a nod to both Victorian morning jewelry and Morticia's garden of deadly nightshade. And of course, double-layered shoulder pads. And let's not forget Cleopatra, Morticia's pet carnivorous plant, whose teeth I made out of tiny, imperfect pearls. And finally, my most recent project, a Fortuny-inspired pleated jacket with ceramic beads outlining all major seams for the legendary Tina Chow. This one took me forever because I hand-pleated and home-baked the fabric myself. The pleats are attached onto this mesh skeleton to form the base of the jacket, and the lining is a collage of leftover fabric from my stash. And I did show unfair preference for my dog in my Tina jacket reveal, so to make up for that, here is Kitty to join in on the festive spirit too. Things with less of a backstory that I still enjoyed making this year include these chaotic bracelets out of scrap leather, this whole fit inspired by Dries Van Noten, this dress inspired by grass, these headbands with imitation cake super glued onto them, this hedonistic robe, this top inspired by microscopy, this Miu Miu inspired upcycled jacket, this dress featuring my friend's grandpa's calligraphy work, and this zebra print jacket inspired by Iris Apfel. I hope you enjoyed hearing about some of my handmaids tales from this year. More fabric manipulations and wonky experiments coming your way in 2024, she promises. Merry belated Christmas, happy holidays, and a joyful new year to each and every one of you. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!